Hey everyone, thank you so much for tuning back to Urban Tropical. This is going to be a super quick video on if you have a large insect, 3 things to do. When is the right time to store it? Second, can you chop off the leaves earlier, start ahead? Is it a good idea or a bad idea? And third, it's in a pot. You really don't want to take it out of the pot. Can you store it potted? That's what I'm planning to do this year. So I'm just going to show you how I'm planning to do it so that it does not go to rot. The most important factor, when is the right time to store your insect? Patience. The longer you can delay, the more survival chances you have. Trust me on that. I have tested it. So if you wait till the frost, the frost is coming. I mean, you always have a notice. If you think the frost is coming and it's a light frost, trust me, one frost really doesn't kill it. I'm talking about light frost here, not heavy frost. So this is specific one actually. Last year I dug it up somewhere in, I think, second or third week of November, and it had very light frost one off. All the leaves kind of collapsed, not almost, so it was still in a really good shape. And I just chopped it off and I dug it up. It was all fine, dried it, and I have stored it in my home temperature 21 degrees Celsius. So the key thing is, don't be rushed that I need to dig it up as soon as I can. Frost is coming any minute. Trust me, I have seen this one surviving minus degrees just on the walk from my home, and I was really in a shock that this plant survived. I mean, it hasn't happened with me. I haven't left it out just like that. So in terms of light frost, don't panic. You can take your time, and that's it. Don't store early. So far I have checked for the next 14 days. I have no frost. I am thinking I'm going to store this one somewhere late November, early December. Again, that please monitor your temperature. That depends on where on the country and the globe you live in. So that's number one thing. Second, when we prepare for insete, we always chop these leaves. We can leave one, or you don't even have to leave any. That's really option. I have done it both ways. It really doesn't make any difference. You can really cut it all off if you want. But the thing I really wanted to emphasize on is, when you cut leaves, you need to leave, like for example this one, the more space you leave, better it is. Now the question comes in, what if I cut it earlier in the season? Does it make the drying up or callousing process better? I have done that and it did not make it better. It's the same. It just dries and dries, goes down and down all the way to the main stem. Eventually you just have to rip it up. So it's better that you don't chop leaves earlier. You leave it to the last minute because it still goes through the same process. Now the question is, why did I cut these leaves off earlier? So I had heavy infestation of spider mites and thrips, and I had so many of them that I had to chop the leaves to put the population of the pests down. And I'm going to show you how it looks. It's still drying the same way it would have dried if I dug it up and then cut the leaves. So the key point is, leave as much as of this stem as you can, because slowly it's going to lose water and it's going to get I wouldn't use the word weaker, but you know what I'm trying to say. It's going to lose energy. The more you have on the stem, the less chances of it's getting to the main stem to rot. It will dry up nicely. So don't chop this earlier. Again, I had a completely different reason, but at least to get to show you that it's not a good idea. Third, what if you have got a really big pot and you think, I'm not going to take it out, I am just going to store it in a pot? Can you do that? That's exactly what I'm trying to do this year. So I have got it in a pot because I didn't have space in my garden to put it in a bed somewhere. I left it in a pot. To be honest, I did not care for insete this much this year because it was infested and I just wanted it to do the season and get rid of, you know how it goes when you have a pest, right? So anyway, so what I have done this year, I have dried my pot. So I have put this bag around the pot so no water can get into it, and you can see from this soil moisture reader is bone dry. And now I am thinking, I don't have any moisture. If I want, I can tip it, but I know it's all dry. If there is no rain happens, I know I don't need to worry about that there is any moisture. I will still try to tilt as much as I can. It's extremely heavy insete. I don't think I can do it on my own, so I'll need a hand for that to tip it upside down. But the point I'm trying to make is that if I have no moisture in my soil and I leave it potted, why would it go to rot? The only reason things will go to rot in a soil if your soil has moisture. So if you think you want to prepare your Ensete, but you don't want to take it out, you don't want to wash the roots, you don't want to remove all the soil, you need to make sure that your pot is quite dry. Keep it covered. You can keep it sheltered. All you're trying to do is prolong it outside as much as you can, because wet and cold is the problem. Cold and dry is not the problem. So if I know my pot is dry, it's going to rain any minute now, so I'm just going to cover this up again. So if I know my pot is dry, my soil is dry, and I know it's going to be good. So yeah, it's going to be a super quick video, just to mentioning 3 points in terms of location. I wanted to really emphasize on that last year I did it in the loft, and I did it in my home temperature, 21 degrees versus 0 degrees up in the loft. They both survived. So you don't have to really opt for 21 degrees or 0 degrees, as long as you are not in the freezing temperatures. There is no moisture, that's the key thing. Your plant will survive, and just keep an eye on it. So even though mine, if you look at my videos, it looked like really bad. The one was dried up quite earlier in the season, stored in a loft. It looks really like limp, it's just not gonna survive, but it did. But anyway, thank you so much. If you do have any comments, please do share them, and I really hope that this was a useful video. And again, patience, don't rush, we still got time, weather's changing. So yeah, just hang in there. Bye.